All right. Good morning, Marjorie. It looks like you're joining us. It looks like Nayeli is joining us as well. So hello, Nayeli. Hello, Marjorie. Um, Hope you guys are doing well. How have you guys been? Been a long time. I'm doing well. I mean, it's a little strange having to do everything online now and not being in the classroom with you guys. It's a little strange, but I'm doing well. What about you? How you guys are adjusting to having to do everything online, having to do everything on Notability? How has the other classes been going? Have you guys been able to connect with your other teachers as well? That's good. I'm glad. Have you had any issues with technology or accessing any of the assignments, or has it been pretty easy, pretty straightforward? Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear. What about you, Nayeli? How has pretty easy as well? I'm glad. What about the math? Have you guys found any of the math difficult? Some of them? Okay. All right, Nayeli. Well, Marjorie's been part of this the last two times. I pretty much just go over the problems. You're able to see my screen as well. Um, so I have my iPad that's essentially going to mirror what I have on Notability. You're welcome to just ask questions, stop me as we go. And then I'll just explain the problems. I am recording this again today. That way I can upload it on YouTube, and if you want to look at it later, and it's able access for other students as well. So what would you guys like to get started with? Should we just get started with cluster one here and go from there? Or what would you guys like to get started with? Okay, so let's go ahead and go to number seven. So Marjorie's asking help from number seven. Um, Here's number seven. It says, which of the following inequalities will produce a number line below as a solution? And it says select all that apply. So the first thing you need to realize is this is going to be an open circle. So when it's an open circle, it means that you should have no line. So with the open circle here, okay, we're looking for the inequality symbols. Notice that this inequality symbol here does not have a line, so that one still qualifies. This one here does not have a line either, so that one still qualifies. Um, Remember, if it had the equal to line underneath, that would mean it's going to be a closed circle, or closed dot. These are all going to be open. So all we got to do now is solve them, okay? And we're going to solve this first one here by doing the inverse operation. So instead of adding 7, we're going to subtract 7. Subtract 7 on both sides. Y is going to be less than negative 11. So this one here doesn't match. It doesn't even match with the number either. So this one here is going to be out. Okay. All right. Now for B, all we're going to do is we're going to divide. We're going to do the opposite, and we're going to divide by negative 4. Divide by negative 4. Okay. Now, when you divide by a negative number, remember that you have to change the sign. So I'm going to put a little note here. Change sign. Okay. When you change the sign, now it's going to be greater than. So x will be greater than negative 3. And this one actually is going to match our graph up on top because that means that x is going to be all the numbers that are missing, and all the numbers that are missing are going to be greater than -3. And that's true because -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4, all those numbers are going to be greater than -3. All right, for C, we're going to have to do a multi-step problem. So it means that we're going to have to do addition and subtraction, and then we're also going to have to multiply or divide. So we're going to subtract 3 on both sides. Okay, we're going to have 4y is greater than -12. Now in this one, even though we have a -12, we are not dividing by a negative number, so the sign is going to stay the same. It's going to stay as greater than. Okay. And when we divide by 4, y is going to be greater than -3. So this one also happens to work as well. So C also works. Okay, for the last one, we're going to subtract 3. Subtract 3. This is going to be 1x 3. And then from this step, we're going to multiply it by 3. Multiply it by 3. And then 1 is going to be less than x. And this one obviously doesn't match because it doesn't have the same number. So that one I don't even have to figure it out. It's just going to be out. So the only options are going to be B and C. And then something I want you to notice is that the variable doesn't matter. Whatever the variable is, it doesn't necessarily matter. It could be any letter. But the answer is still x is greater than -3. That's what you're looking for. All right. So B and C are the answers for number 7 there. Okay. All right, Marjorie, did that help you with number 7? All right, good. All right, Nayeli or Marjorie, any other questions on these? All right, good. What about anything else from the Unit 3 clusters? Again, this is more for you guys. If you guys are okay with it, then that's fine with me. I just want to make sure I'm checking in, making sure that I'm helping with those students that need help. So whatever you guys need help with, I'm more than open to help you guys with. All right, number 1. Okay, so this one here. Okay, so for number 1, all you're going to be doing is you're going to be substituting all of the values. And remember, when the numbers are stuck together like this, the variable, we have 6, x, and z. That means that you're going to multiply all 3 numbers all together. Okay? So that's probably where the students make the mistake that they think it's distributed property and it's not. So this one's going to say something like this: 6 -2 times 4. Okay, minus y is going to be 5, open parenthesis, 2 times -2 minus 4, close the parenthesis, plus 3 times -2. So again, all I did on that first step is I substituted all the values for each variable. Now, on this one here, we're going to do it kind of one step at a time. We're going to do 6 times -2. So it's going to be -12 times 4, okay, minus 5, open parenthesis. We're going to simplify this. So it's going to be 2 times -2. It'll be -4 plus 3 times -2 will be -6. Okay, we're going to take another step and simplify this even further. So it's going to be -12 times 4 will be -48 minus 5. And then -4 combined with another -4 is going to be -8. Okay, we're combining negative numbers, so it's going to be a -8. And then we're just going to take off the parentheses, so it's going to say -6. Okay. Okay, the only thing that's kind of left to do here with the multiplication is this part. So we're going to do that. Everything else stays the same, so it'll be -48. A negative times a negative is going to be a positive, so we're going to do +40 minus 6. Okay. And then when we combine these numbers here, -48 and -40 will be -8, -6, and then the final step here will be -14. All right. So there's a lot of steps involved in that one. But it's just working it out step by step. All right. How are you guys doing this one on number 3? I know sometimes this one becomes an issue with some students sometimes. How did you guys do on number 3? Did you guys figure this one out yet? All right, good. I'm glad. I think it takes a little bit of practice, but then they start becoming a little easier and easier. My microphone should be on. Again, a lot of these things are learning with me as well from the teacher end, but it should be on. Marjorie, are you able to hear me? Okay. So I don't know, Nayeli, if you want to log out and then maybe log back in to see if it works after that. Is it working for you now, Nayeli, there? All right. Did it work now? All right, Nayeli, I turned off my microphone. I turned on the screen as well. I don't know if you're able to hear me now. Um, Kind of went back and forth. I Well, we can see you. All right, Marjorie. While she's trying to figure that out, did you still have any questions, or did you? Again, this meeting is more ran by you guys. You guys can decide what you guys want to do. We can do more problems. We can just kind of talk, whatever you guys want to do. It's you guys. You guys are running the meeting, so it's up to you guys what you guys want to work on and do. All right, Nayeli, looks like yours is working now, so that's good. Are you guys able to see where I'm hosting the meeting from today? It's been going pretty good. I mean, other than like I was telling Marjorie, it's just awkward not being at work with you guys. It's kind of strange not having to come into work every day, but it's been going good. I get to enjoy my time with my little ones right now, so it's like it's pretty good too to be able to do that. And right now that the weather's a lot better, they're able to play outside every day. So, what about yours, Naili? How's your day going so far? Yeah, I get that a lot. A lot of students always say that it's sometimes better to come to school because they get to hang out with their friends at least. And then right now that you're not even supposed to go outside is even more difficult. Well, something I miss is for sure being able to stay home and watch sports. There's no sports. There's nothing on right now on TV. All the sports are just repeat games, and it's not as fun to watch repeat games because you already know what the score is going to be. You already know who's going to win. And are these meetings helping you guys? I know Marjorie, you've been joining me the last one. So have these meetings actually been helpful for you guys? Kind of maybe distract you a little bit, help you work on your homework. I guess force you to do your homework. um, they're actually going to be hosting a meeting. The school board members, the ones that are essentially going to be making the decisions for the school, they usually always do the decisions for the schools. They're going to be hosting a meeting tonight, and they're going to be discussing extending it until May 1st, and that's most likely going to be a possibility. I doubt that we'll be coming back on April 14th. April 14th was supposed to be the day after spring break. Um, so essentially, we were supposed to be coming back after spring break. I highly doubt that right now. I'm pretty sure we're going to be coming back until May 1st. May 1st is the date that a lot of other school sites are doing. So I know, like in Fresno, Central, Selma, I believe, is also going until May 1st. So a lot of school sites, a lot of districts are going all the way until May 1st, and that's most likely what we're going to do as well. And we don't have a plan exactly for work yet. That's still going to be something that teachers have to get together and discuss. We'll be hosting meetings just like this one, where we'll talk about what we're going to be doing. We're going to be talking about whether we're going to be doing new material or review again. So there's a lot of stuff that we don't know yet, but most likely we are going to be extending the um, essentially the way you guys aren't going to be coming to school anymore. So most likely until May 1st. I don't know if it'll be an A day or a B day. I would imagine they're just going to continue the rotation as far as A days and B days. I know something that we kind of started talking about was like, for example, social studies and science, because you don't see those teachers every day. So the amount of work would be different for those classes compared to our classes. Math and ELA you see every day. So those types of works would have to be different than like science and social studies. So that's something else that we've been talking about, trying to figure out. But A days and B days will still continue. I would imagine they just continue. If you have Mr. Castillo on Facebook as a, well, not necessarily Mr. Castillo, but the Washington academic page, Mr. Castillo has been making the announcements. And he's been announcing that it's an A day or a B day. So I would imagine that I don't know what May 1st will be, but the rotation will still stay the same. Yeah, you're welcome. And then again, this math work is there to help you remember and not forget some of the things. But at the end of the day, I think a lot of us do want to come back. I know I want to come back. I want to be able to kind of get in the routine of working and doing all those things again. So All right, guys. Well, at this point, did you guys have any other questions, or I will be hosting another meeting most likely on Wednesday at the same time. On Wednesday at 11 o'clock. We kind of have set schedules now as far as when we're meeting because other teachers want to meet with you guys as well. So I don't know if you guys have access to the schedule. If not, I'll post it later on today. That way, you guys have access to the schedule as far as when teachers are supposed to meet with you guys. And then I'll be hosting this again on Wednesday at 11 o'clock. And then if you guys have more questions by then, we can talk about those as well. The units that are left is going to be Unit 4 and Unit 5. So Unit 4 was all about angles. And then Unit 5 is going to be the geometry aspect where you're going to be doing circles, rectangles, and so on, and finding the circumference in the area. So we'll talk about Unit 4 and Unit 5 on Wednesday, so you guys can be kind of ready for that as well if you guys want to join me that day. Okay. Okay, so we can talk about that right now if you want as well. I know that was one of the things that we talked about in the first meeting, but I can go over it with you as well right now. So here's Unit 1 and number 6. I think we did it already. So I'll show you the work, and then if you have questions, you can ask me on it. So where's Unit 1? Unit 2. Here it is. Okay. So this one, I believe, is a question you were looking at. Okay. So there's the work. Take a look at the work and see if it actually does help you out. I think the biggest thing with about tax is trying to figure out the decimal. I remember when we talked about this, we talked about the difference between 9% and then 90%. So there's a difference between the two. And then that's the number one mistake students do all the time. 9% and 90% should look different. And then they do look different up here. So we kind of talked about that last time. 9% should have that 0.0 and then 9. And then the 90% should have 0.90. So there's a difference between the two. We're just kind of looking over Unit 1. But if you have any questions, you're welcome to kind of jump in and ask. All right, Marjorie, thank you for joining us. We'll see you on Wednesday then. Same time, 11 o'clock. Andrew, how are you doing? Doing okay over there with all your work?
Yes.
Yeah? Have you been able to access all your other teachers as well?
Yes.
I'm glad. What about math? Did you have any questions specifically on math today?
No.
No? Okay. Have you finished the majority of it already or still working on it?
I'm on Unit 4.
You're on Unit 4? Okay.
Yeah.
That's good then. You're kind of like on schedule. I was telling the girls just right now that we're on Wednesday I will be hosting a meeting again. And then on Wednesday the focus will be more on Unit 4 and Unit 5. But if you want to ask questions now, you're welcome to. Your choice. You decide.
I'm good. I think
Okay.
I'm good.
All right. Well, if you want to wait until Wednesday, you're welcome to. If you have stuff you want to talk about now, we can. Your choice. You decide.
I'll wait till Wednesday.
All right, Andrew. Sounds good.
Unit 4.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, Andrew. Well, thank you for dropping in. We'll talk to you guys on Wednesday then at 11 o'clock.
Okay.
All right. See you, Andrew. Take care.
You too.